Hey guys, and welcome on into the next NHL offseason preview show. And today I'm going to be talking all about the LA Kings, taking a look at their offseason draft picks and management, free agents, forwards, defensemen, and goaltending depth, as well as my offseason tasks for the LA Kings to get accomplished this offseason. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit the like button below and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We've been growing every day. I really love to see it. And let me know in the comments below what you think the LA Kings need to do this offseason to once again make the playoffs, but finally find a way to get past the Edmonton Oilers, who have been a nightmare opponent for this Kings in the offseason. With that being said, we'll jump into the first segment here, which is draft picks and management. Ken Holland, general manager, Jim Hillier as head coach, looking to help this Kings team continue to make progress here. The Kings have their first round pick, as well as their third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round picks. They do not have their second round pick, and then they have an extra seventh round pick of Philadelphia's. So the Kings, obviously they have their first round pick, but other than that, a lot of lower round picks for the LA Kings. Taking a look at free agents, the LA Kings only have one restricted free agent, Alex Laferriere, from players that played in games last year on the roster. They do have a lot of UFAs and guys like Trevor Lewis, Tanner Jeannot, Taylor Ward, who played one game with the Canucks last year, with one game with the LA Kings last year. Andrei Kuzmenko, Vladislav Gavrikov, I apologize, and David Riddick. So obviously Kuzmenko and Gavrikov are on the my top UFA agents lists when we look at it. So is David Riddick, but most goaltenders are on there. But Kuzmenko, Gavrikov are interesting guys, whether the Kings look to try to re-sign them and keep them around here, or whether they look in free agency or through the trade market. Really, though, the pressing guy is Alex Laferriere. You want to get him re-signed, but spoiler alert, he's not going to cost $21 million. So the Kings are going to have a significant amount of cap space left to go after other free agents or acquire players by trade that have a cap hit. Taking a look at the forward group as it's projected to look like this upcoming season, Alex Turcotte, Anze Kopitar, and Adrian Kempe on that top line, Kevin Fiala, Quinton Byfield, and Alex Laferriere on that second line, Warren Foegele, Philip Deneau, and Trevor Moore on the third line. And that third line is actually pretty sneaky because they definitely had stretches and they have a lot of chemistry, that third line. So it's very smart to keep that line together. All three guys had streaks last year where they really provided a lot of offense consistently for games and consistent streaks at times for this Kings team. So when you can get guys in your third line that go on 4 or 5 game point streaks, that really helps. Kind of takes some of the pressure off those top two lines. And then obviously the opponent's defense have to worry about that third line, and it opens up the offense throughout the lineup. The fourth line, Jeff Mallett, Samuel Hellenius, and Akil Thomas, with Andre Lee kind of as a depth forward. So I think the Kings' fourth line is pretty open. I think we could see guys come and go, depending on, obviously, if this was the opening night lineup, which I don't think it is. The Kings definitely have the opportunity to go and add guys. Now, looking at this forward group, it has been reported that the LA Kings are going to offer Mitch Marner a deal. So if you bring in a guy like Mitch Marner, how does that affect the lines? Because obviously a guy like maybe Alex Turcotte, maybe if Marner would play on the right side. Maybe Kempe moves over to the left side, or perhaps Marner Kempe goes to the second line. If Marner was to sign, bringing in Marner would be obviously a huge boost to this offense if they were able to win the Marner sweepstakes. But it would mean that third line, which I do like, the chemistry might have to be kind of moved around because you'd have to move somebody to the fourth line because the top 9 as it is, if you add Marner into that, somebody's got to move down. So really spreading the offense throughout the lineup wouldn't be a horrible idea either. But I do think the LA Kings should go and acquire another offensive forward. But if this is the top 9 going into the regular season next year, it's not awful at all. It is not awful at all. And plus, the Kings do play a more defensive style, a low-scoring type hockey. So not that offense isn't important, but obviously playing well defensively is very important as well. Looking at left wingers available, different guys on this list. Obviously, Andrei Kuzmenko being one of them. Maybe if the Kings miss out on Marner, maybe they circle back with Kuzmenko. I would look at adding a guy like Jonathan Drouin. Nikolai Ehlers obviously is a great offensive player when he's healthy. Brad Marchand, I don't see him going to LA, but would be a good addition. Would be a fantastic addition to this Kings lineup. Obviously, bringing the offense that you need, but also the physical presence would help them in the playoffs against a team like Edmonton that we're seeing what Brad Marchand is doing against Edmonton right now. And the LA Kings could definitely use a guy like Marchand if they were able to convince him to go to LA. Looking at these centers that are available, I don't know if the Kings would go after a center. I could see them going after a guy like Mikael Granlund if they do miss out on Mitch Marner. I think Mikael Granlund would be a good addition to the Kings. And then I'm not sure about the other guys. Center depth isn't an issue for this Kings team right now. I think it's more of guys on the wing. As I said, offer Mitch Marner a contract. You want to bring him onto this team because he would obviously he was a 102-point player last year. Would drastically help this Kings offense and could be kind of the missing piece here in LA. Otherwise, other guys available. Brock Besser is going to be a hot commodity on the free agent market after Mitch Marner signs. Everyone is going to pivot and try to get Brock Besser. Patrick Kane would be interesting. I'm not sure what he intends to do, but bringing him in would be a good veteran presence for the Kings. So there are definitely guys they could add if they do miss out on Mitch Marner. Taking a look at restricted free agents, the Kings have full offer sheet capability. So they've got cap space and they do have offer sheet capability. So if they were to miss out on a guy like Mitch Marner and they couldn't find anyone on the UFA market that they really like, they do have the opportunity here to go after an RFA. And there's a guy named Will Cooley there at the bottom who, with the situation that the Rangers are in, might be a little bit difficult for them to re-sign. There's talk about what's going on in Buffalo. So I could see the Kings going after a guy like Will Cooley or Peterka. I think would be good additions for the Kings if they wanted to acquire an RFA, either by trade or by an offer sheet. Because if you do look at the way this Kings roster is, their draft picks over the next 4 years, I don't expect to be very high picks. I do expect them to kind of be a playoff team, maybe be a bubble team here and there if they do miss out. But I don't see them being a bottom feeder over the next few seasons. So an offer sheet could be a potential situation for the Kings if they are not able to get a guy like Mitch Marner here in the UFA market. Taking a look at defensemen, Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty, Joel Edmondson and Brant Clark, Jacob Moverare and Jordan Spence, with Kyle Burrows as an extra when it comes to the defense here, and a lot of young defensemen. Mikey Anderson and Brant Clark, Jordan Spence, Jacob Moverare. So you've got some youth, and then you've got Drew Doughty, the veteran presence, Joel Edmondson as well. Looking at this, I do think that the Vancouver. Sorry, guys, I just recorded the Vancouver show, so the LA Kings fans are going to get mad why I keep saying Vancouver because they're in my brain. But the LA Kings could use one more defenseman here, maybe kind of a shot blocking defenseman. I think that could really help this young defense. So yeah, I'm looking at a guy like Dante Fabro. Or you could look at other guys like Vladislav Gavrikov. Maybe they bring him back, or maybe they go with a guy like Ryan Lindgren, or maybe they go with more of an offensive defenseman like Ekblad or Grzelcyk. The Kings have chances, or have the opportunity to bring in a defenseman if they do want to bolster that Kings defense to try to handle the Oilers when they once again face them in the playoffs next year. Looking at goaltending, Darcy Kemper projected to be the starter, and Carter George I'm actually seeing on some sites to be projected to be the backup. Now, he's only 19, so he's a very young goaltender, so I don't know necessarily that he would be the backup next year. I think if the Kings are looking at going on a playoff run once again, I think you might want to have another goalie, have a backup goaltender here. Eric Portillo, I believe, played in one game last year, so I do think that the Kings could use another experienced goaltender, and there's a lot of them out there. Or they could just bring back David Riddick, who obviously played last year, but I think maybe getting some fresh blood might be a smart choice. So lots of guys on this list. I could see a guy like Dan Vladar being a good fit. You could go with Jake Allen or maybe Anton Forsberg. There's guys available here. Old man James Reimer, maybe they go that route. But there are some opportunity here for a veteran backup goaltender if the Kings decide that that's what they need this offseason. Taking a look at my offseason tasks, and yeah, I've got quite a few of them here. One, re-sign Alex Laferriere. You want to keep him around, important player in this team's future. Next, you want to offer Mitch Marner a contract. You want to try to bring him over to this LA Kings team and bolster that offense that could use some help. Look at adding a shot blocking defenseman. You can never have too many shot blocking defensive defensemen. Help your goalies out throughout the season and the playoffs. Figure out how to beat Edmonton. And I said this on the Tampa Bay show, figure out how to beat Florida. Well, it's much worse here for this Kings team, who just continues to play this Oilers team and even had a 2-0 series lead this year, but then lost it. So the Kings need to – the Edmonton Oilers aren't going away. They're not going to fall off next year and be a bottom feeder team. That's just – it's not going to happen. So the Kings are going to have to deal with them maybe in the first round again. So the Kings, one of your offseason tasks should be focusing time on why did you lose to Edmonton and what can you do? Who can you bring in to try to fix that heading into next season? And then finally, look at adding a backup goaltender. Maybe some of the guys they have in the organization will be fine. Eric Portillo, maybe they go with the young George. But I would look at bringing in a veteran defense or veteran backup goaltender. If Darcy Kemper was to get hurt, you don't want to have a situation where you're throwing a young goaltender into a starting position on a team that has playoff expectations. So I would look at adding a backup goaltender. And that is the LA Kings offseason preview show. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, growing every day. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think the LA Kings need to do to improve this offseason? And will they be able to find a way to beat Edmonton? Or will they once again get knocked out by the Edmonton Oilers? Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next offseason preview show.